Welcome to your practice. This is my daughter Emerald. She's home from university and she's going to share her practice with us today. So we're going to start in pranayama with a little bit of, that means breath work. We're going to take our blanket, so go ahead and grab yourself a blanket and fold it around this size. And then we're going to fold it again and then again, so then it has a little bit of height to it. You could lay right directly on it, but for today, we're going to lift the head of the blanket up. So you can take a block this height, or it can be even a little bit thinner if you'd like. So go ahead and butt your butt right up to the bolster. We'll call it a bolster for today. And go ahead and lay the whole spine down. And make sure the back of your head is resting and it's not off of this, just in case you have a really long spine. And notice how you feel. And then once you feel settled in your lower spine, go ahead and close your eyes. And as you close your eyes, we're going to scan the body. Start right at the toes and give them a little wriggle. And then as you wriggle your toes, feel into your heels and allow them to move. So maybe you go into these nice little circles, or maybe you'll sway from side to side. Decide what kind of movement feels good for you today. And then just allow it to come into stillness and this quiet. And notice how the feet can. Will they splay out? And then travel all the way up through the Achilles and down through the calf. And notice what the lower leg here feels like. Travel all the way up to the shin. And we're going to activate and stimulate this area by pressing downward. So it'll feel like the shin bones are pressing down into the mat. Notice the muscles turn on. And then slowly, at your own pace, feel them turn off. And how well do they do so? All the while breathing smoothly in. Feel the coolness and out. Come all the way up into the knees, and this part I want you to visualize. So go ahead and dust off your visualizing skills and imagine all of this. You're gently going to feel like the knees are moving upward, off of the mat, bending and coming up, like someone's holding them underneath. Without moving, just allow this sensation to come through the mind's eye. And then very softly, feel it surrender down and dissolve into your mat. And notice again, what is the quality of the knees? As you breathe very softly here. Come all the way up into the thigh, the upper leg. And feel one side and the other, and notice if one feels a little bit more full. Is one side hitting the mat a little heavier? Or are they even? We're going to activate this area by bringing your awareness all the way to the top of the thigh. These beautiful muscles here, 4 muscles that work beautifully together. So we're going to engage the quadricep, and we're going to press downward into the femur, downward into the hamstrings, and down into the mat. And then soften, soften, soften. And notice that sensation from one side to the other. And then very softly here now, you're going to drift into the seat, into the sit bones. Notice the sit bones and the weight coming down into the mat. And from here, take the sit bones now and see if you can draw them towards each other. This muscular effort, very softly towards each other. And then feel if they can come away from each other now. And then relax that effort And let your awareness drift into the lower spine, that lumbar sacral spine where you may be cushioned up to the blanket. Notice how well it broadens and widens and softens. Gently on your next inhale, let it sweep all the way up the spinal column to the back of the skull. And on the exhale, just let it swish all the way down. Let yourself bathe this spine, the spinal column, this whole entire area with your awareness and breath. On your next inhale, pause at the shoulder tips. Go ahead and bring that awareness all the way down to the fingertips. Take the fingers in towards the palms with a light little squeeze. Keep that squeeze and then spin the arms. Just give them a little twist, a light little twist, and they might go the same way and the thumb might come into the floor, and then they'll twist all those muscle fibers of the arm the other way. And then relax and soften and notice that softening quality. How well do the arm muscles surrender? Travel up the arms all the way to the shoulders. With a light little shrug, bring the tips of the shoulders up towards the ears like an I don't know gesture. And then soften, soften, soften. Let them drape downward. This roll. Feel the width of the neck. And then come into the face here. And you can crinkle up the face and let's go come into some contraction around the brow, the eyes, the nose. Crinkle it up, the mouth. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And then soften. And as you're softening, feel the breath and notice how well it travels in and out of this shape. The fluidity of the breath, the smoothness, the depth. Notice the mind. Does it feel dull? Does it feel sharp? There's something in between. Are there any emotions that are looping around? Or is there one that stays? And just notice. We're going to come into a nice controlled breath here, an apana breath, this downward and outward breath. Then we'll come to the bottom of our lungs, the bottom corners, the top corners where we might have a little congestion. So two cleansing breaths before we start. So go ahead on your next inhale and take a nice deep inhale up. You'll pull that breath in. Pause at the top briefly. Drop the jaw with an audible sigh out. Just let that breath come on out with a and then again, you'll inhale, pull that breath all the way in. You'll feel the belly rise. And then exhale. Beautiful. On your next inhale, pull it all the way to the top where you think you can't pull in any more breath. Then go ahead like you're sipping through a straw and sip in just a wee bit more and hold. Exhale through the nose, through the mouth, whatever feels good, all the way to the bottom of the lungs. Hold, and then go ahead and press out just a wee bit more with a and then in, all the way to the top. Sip in a wee bit more when you think you can't. Hold. Exhale it all the way to the bottom. Pause where you think you're comfortable and press out a little bit more with a feel what the belly does. And then again, in. All the way to the top. Pause where you're comfortable. Sip in a wee bit more, like sipping through a straw. Hold. Exhale it all the way out. You'll pause where you're comfortable and press out a wee bit more. And then again, in. Feel the wave of the breath coming in like the wave on the ocean. Sip in a wee bit more, the crest of the wave, and then let it break. Exhale. Press out a wee bit more, that little bit that always comes up the beach, and then again, inhale. Sip in a wee bit more at the top, hold, and exhale. Pause where you're comfortable and press out a little bit more. 2 more just like this. In all the way to the top. Sip in a wee bit more when you think you can't. Hold and exhale. Pause where you're comfortable and let out a little bit more. Notice what the belly does. Last one. Inhale to the top. Sip in a wee bit more. Like you're blowing out a candle or just flickering the candle. Just pucker the lips a wee bit. Blow out that candle just to move the flame, but not really blow it out. So it's notice how far the exhale travels, how deep this exhale goes. Far from the body, and dive right back into your natural breath here. Notice how you feel. And so this one grounds you into the nowness, into this shape. It'll ground you into this present moment. Clears out those dark corners, that stagnation that might occur when we're cold, hunched up, not moving, maybe studying a lot. So feel that freedom inside, the spaciousness that you've developed through your presence. And as you bask in the benefits of this breath, of this spaciousness and freedom, let's go ahead and form our intention for our practice today. And so maybe there's somebody in your circle, your community, or the world that you'd like to offer the benefits of your practice to. And go ahead and do that now. Maybe there's something that you want to call into your life that you want to master, that you want to experience. And it might be something that's way far out of your reach. Please call it in now. And what are you most grateful for in this moment? In this very moment? Whatever it is. Doesn't have to be so grand. We'll let that be the glue, the magic of this law of attraction. We'll place it right in our heart center with that pure intent of it spilling outward into the world off of our mats. We can be that beacon of light for those all around us. It can be the spark to our practice today. So take a few cleansing breaths here. Breathe in and out. Start to flutter open the eyes and take in your surroundings just a wee bit at a time. Coming into the neck and shoulders now. This next flow. So very softly, go ahead and bend up the knees when you're ready, very slowly. Give a little roll over to your side body, right off of the props. Let yourself roll and use that lower arm as your pillow. Relax on your side. Take the props right off of the mat, so we'll clear the runway here. And then from here, you're going to come right down onto your belly. We're going to do a nice little flow called turtle. Some of you may want to use the blanket, a little bit of elevation. So I'm going to leave it right at the top, and you can do the same at home. And you might want to pull it right underneath your forehead. Once you have the arms in a cactus shape, you can rest your forehead right on top of this little bit of elevation, so you have a little space to breathe into. Get yourself comfortable with the arms. They're in these cactus shape, so the elbows can come down, or maybe they're directly right out from the shoulders or above. So make sure those elbows to shoulders, this whole upper triangle area, right in here feels good. So this is the targeted area, knowing that the whole body speaks to everywhere. It doesn't think in bits and pieces. So where we open one place, we'll be opening everywhere. So very softly here. You're going to start by loading the neck and shoulder. You're going to lift the head a wee bit, just a hair, and bring it off to the right, just a little bit. And then pause. So like there are these little places on a clock, and you want to hit all the seconds, not just the minutes. Let yourself pause on that right side. You load the muscles, and then how well do they release down into the mat, into your cushion. Beautiful. Notice all the muscles that come in from the toes to the knees, to the thighs, to the belly, to the arms, to help this maneuver, to help engage the neck. So go ahead and notice your foot, your left foot. Raise the head, and we're going to come another little bit over to the right. The nose comes over to the right, and then relax and soften. How well do the muscles of the leg, the belly, and the arms rest? Nice. Beautiful breath. If you're at your full range of motion, you can, this is food for thought, so you may want to visualize this next one. The head can raise, and like you're looking over your shoulder, you're just seeing, is someone coming? Or do I have a little dust on my shoulder? And then rest it down and soften. And notice how well it can soften right there. Take a breath. And then go ahead and bring it all the way into your starting point, the center. And let yourself rest there. Neutral spine. Notice how well the muscles. Observe all of the little details of the right shoulder to the left shoulder to the middle of the brain, where you think it might be. Right on the other side where you're rooted, on the forehead. We're going to come on over to the other side now. So when you're ready, load the muscles, and then just coming over just a hair over to the left, and then let yourself relax and soften. Observe now the right side, the right foot, next time you load the muscles of the neck. And feel all those muscles, and do they engage when the head comes up? All these different places. So you'll load the muscle, and then you'll move it over to the left a little more and relax. And you might do this 2, 3, 4 times at your own comfortable pace. You might rest a little longer than we are. Or you might move a little bit more fluidly. So listen to that internal sensations. And then food for thought on the next one, maybe you look over that left shoulder if it's available, or visualize this part. And then soften. And notice how well the muscles can. Nice. From here, come all the way to the forehead, neutral spine. Beautiful. Notice from the right shoulder to the left shoulder, to the middle of the brain. Any which way that feels good, you're going to roll over on your side body. Just let yourself roll. Use your lower arm as a pillow. Nice. Take a breath. And then let yourself come on up. Press into the mat. Lengthen through that top leg and come on up into Supta Baddha Konasana. So you're going to, some of you may need to elevate the sit bones as you sit. So notice when you're sitting with the soles of the feet together in Supta Baddha Konasana, so cobbler pose. Notice when you sit like this, do you lean way back? If you're leaning way back and collapsing into this hammock, and there isn't anything to hold you with that hammock, then you'll need to elevate your sit bones, and that'll bring you forward. So, how does that feel? Good? Good. Okay, so from here, I'll do it along. You can start by bringing the hands to the side of the legs. Feel the weight of the legs as you lift them. So notice the muscles of the arms, of the chest, of the neck, of the shoulders engage as you lift the legs. They might feel very heavy. And then now we're going to come down the way we came. So now the legs are pressing into the hands. The legs are winning, but the arms are offering a wee bit of resistance. Once they come down, we're not going to a big stretch. Just let them go. Hands come into the center, or maybe they're off to the side, fingertips. And breathe. And notice what you notice. You can wriggle the toes. Maybe this is too much for you. You might have to have the blanket rolled underneath so you have something to lay onto, or a bolster where the blanket is. You can always have something underneath the legs, maybe on one side or the other. So let yourself feel supported. We're going to come into that again. Gently and softly lift the arms. Feel the muscles engage. As the legs come downward at your own comfortable speed, pace, the eyes can close once you have the gist of this movement. The legs are pressing, the arms are acting as resistance. Once you come to your full range of motion, let it go and soften, soften. And notice that quality, all the subtleties and how the body speaks to you. One more here for good luck. Bring the hands to the outer edge. When you're ready, press them upward, slowly, slowly, as slow as you comfortably can, towards each other. And then feel the weight coming down into the arms, all the muscles turned on, stimulated and activated. And then once they find their place, let them, and the arms shut off. Notice the muscles soften. How well do they do so? Nice. From here, if this is your range of motion, you stay here. Maybe you lean into a wall. Or you just crawl the hands over to the feet, and we're going to do a little bit of somatics with the toes. So bring the hands to the toes, and you can do this with the hands or without. You can do them with one, if that's more comfortable for you, or you can do them both at the same time. So go ahead and place your fingers on the outer toes. The toes are going to press into the fingers are going to press back, and you'll feel the muscles of the arms, the shoulders, the fingers, the inner knees, maybe even the tush and the back. And then relax and soften. The head can soften down as you relax. Once you have the gist of this one, it's very simple. None of these are really rocket science. But they will scramble the brain, and that's a good thing. The brain loves to learn in contrast. So notice this. And then we go again. The hands offer that resistance. Baby toe presses outward, big toe, all the toes. Feel the muscles activate, and then soften. Head can come downward. Breathe into all of those sensations that are arising. Let the belly soften. Let the jaw soften. And just relax that little bit more for another nice, beautiful breath. One more. Give a light little press outward. Notice how it feels to move like this. Maybe the balls of the feet right underneath the toes are pressing. Maybe the heels can press. And then relax and the head comes down. Let yourself rest here. Let the jaw slacken. The shoulders will feel like they're coming away from each other. The belly softens a little bit more. And one more breath right here. Slowly let yourself roll up. Nice. Coming to we're going to close with a nice little seated meditation. So if you'd like to sit on something, please do. Whatever feels good. Hands on your knees, palms down. Feel the shoulders stacked over the hips. The head beautifully upright. Feel the spine moving up. Maybe you pull up just a little bit more from the pelvis. And then feel those sit bones ground down just a little more. The belly nice and soft. Let it rise and fall. And notice how you feel. Little subtle shifts. Connect to that inner grin. Let the corners of your mouth curl up. Know that you can stay here and meditate for as long as you like. If you've only slotted out a half an hour for today, this is where we're going to close our practice. So go ahead and bring your palms together. Feel the warmth. Thumbs connect to the heart center. A light little press. Take a deep inhale here. And as you exhale, a light little bow. With the intention of pouring it out beyond these walls to all those that need a little support inside and out today. Namaste.